Waking up on Monday and the coffee just can't quite wash away last night's 6-pack of hams. But Tuesday brings the promise of making things all right, but you still drive to work in your family's minivan. The doctor calls on Wednesday right before your flight to talk about your colorectal exam. You're back to work on Thursday and your boss is all uptight 'cause you didn't push your best-selling brand. But now it's the Friday drive and it's story time. Yes, it's story time. The one time a week when you can truly plan to kick back and listen to story time. Yes, it's story time. We're pushing it out on every airwave we can. We're on both 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right.
Bravo. Global Sports Radio Network.
Dude, how great is that?
Dude, that is a quintessential 80s TV theme song right there.
And that's exactly what he said.
Yes.
He wanted, so this was last week on our show with Joey, and Buck's trying to get him on the horn right now, but he said, not a jingle.
No.
He wanted an old school
Theme song.
Since we changed to FM,
Yeah.
he's like, we can no longer do his
Yeah.
Well,
Story
that little-
time with Joey on 1080.
we got to change it up.
Yeah.
So he wrote that. That's him on piano, and I wonder who was playing the drums there. Maybe his kid or something.
That's maybe just a little drum machine. You know, like on a keyboard or whatever, you can put a backbeat to it.
He recorded that, and that's the first I've heard of.
That's
heard
fantastic.
It. Very good.
It had, yeah. I think there was a Cheers element to that. Like that's,
Yeah.
I think that was the base of it.
Now wait, can we play that again?
Do we have him, or are we still?
No, we don't have him. We're having issues with our phones, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But I have that again. Hold on.
Okay,
one second.
let's yeah.
One more time. I thoroughly.
I wasn't.
enjoyed this.
I wasn't even prepared.
No,
for that.
And that was a whole thing.
On the
On the
fan.
fan. We're doing great, guys.
Waking up on Monday and the coffee just can't quite wash away last night's 6-pack of hams.
That's an homage to
But
you.
Tuesday brings the promise of making things all right, but you still drive to work in your family's minivan. The doctor calls on Wednesday right before your flight to talk about your colorectal exam. You're back to work on Thursday and your boss is all uptight 'cause you didn't push your best-selling brand. But now it's the Friday drive and it's story time. Yes, it's story time.
You got me?
The one time a week when you can truly plan to kick back and listen to story time. Yes, it's story time. We're pushing it out on every airwave we can. We're on both 105.1 and 1080 The Fan. Part of the Fan's Global Sports Radio Network.
How about that?
I love that.
And here is
Yes.
the
author.
artist himself,
Yes.
Joey Harrington. Wow, that's great.
Of all the
Yeah.
of all the times for my phone not to work,
I
like I was
know.
literally like Buck and I were like, so did it just go? Like what happened?
Well, we played it twice.
Yeah, we played it twice. And
Oh,
dude, sir, bravo. You said you were going to cook up something, and brother, you delivered.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
Now tell us the story behind that.
the story. Well, so I got off the phone last week, and I was like, well, I was thinking, okay, I could kind of work this along. And you said, no, you have to be Friday. So I was like, okay, great. So let's get to work. I had the music written probably by, this was last Friday, probably like Saturday at noon. And it was originally kind of, you know, the, not Facts of Life, Family Ties.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a slower bossa nova, like, you know, it had a nice little, you know, a little syncopation to it. I was like, okay, that's the direction we're going to go. And then I had heard I was listening to Family Matters and trying to work some. I was like, maybe I get some Hammond B3 organ in there, and then Boston. And then I tried to sing it over the top. I was like, man, I'm a horrible singer. And so that was way too slow, and it would have had like all of these like holding out kind of notes, and so then it just kind of shifted and evolved, and it kind of took more of like a Cheers-ish kind of, I don't know like how it kind of happened, but it was a journey.
That's what when I heard it, my first thought was I thought that had the bones of Cheers, which by the way is my favorite sitcom from my childhood, which it hit me where I needed it to be.
Well, and the piano.
Yes.
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah.
Now, did you have who was on drums there, or was that a machine? What was that?
So I was actually sitting out at Tualatin Hills Parks and Rec out at the field out there during Jack's soccer tournament last weekend, and I kind of like, so that's the other thing is like, I can't just sit down on a piano and like play it. It's like I had to make it right, and so it's trying to figure out the GarageBand app. So I was like, well, so I figured out how to play the drums on the app, and so I was like sitting there on my phone, like ding, 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 I was like working on the cymbal. Okay, then, but the problem was, every time I recorded another track onto it, like the drums like became kind of echoed out, and so it was a journey. It was a journey, but I did do all of the pieces. I called a couple friends. I was like, hey, do you know anybody like recording, who has like studio stuff? And it just ended up being too tough, so I just tried to figure it out on my own.
Well, we have a studio down here.
Yeah, and we it's somewhat professional.
Why didn't you call us? You could have come down.
Because you don't play the drums or the bass.
Yeah,
it's the musicians that I needed.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You wanted to go lay it down like with.
Yeah,
Rick Rubin.
lay the exactly. Go to like the Beat Laboratory and have someone actually play the drums.
Okay. Well,
I could play like a mean tambourine for you. That's about the most I can do.
Well, you are quite a composer. That is amazing.
I love it,
and I love it too. And I think a Grammy is in your future for that.
Well, thank you. I tried to, how a lot of like '80s sitcom theme songs have like a not a theme, but like they have like a, this was like, hey, it's Friday, it's the Friday drive time. The rest of the week sucks.
Yes.
Like, hey, but now
it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, exactly. Like there's always kind of that okay, it's gonna be okay feeling to the '80s theme songs.
Absolutely.
Go to a place where everybody knows your name. Yeah. Like it's
uplifting.
Just makes you feel
in
good.
the end. It's uplifting after your colorectal exam.
Well, I enjoyed that you threw in a sixer of hams. That was near and dear to my heart.
Well, I was trying to, because again, like everything was off of ing and like fans, and so everything had to be like an am or an and then an ing, and so I was like, okay, well, let's see, kind of had to work those in two together. I was like, Monday, waking up in the morning after what? After like too much bourbon, like a Chardonnay? No, it's a 6-pack of hams. There you go.
Well, and so the bar that I drink at, shockingly enough, they have like 3 beers on tap, and one of those is ham. So whenever I go to my local drinking establishment, I get a pitcher of hams.